Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Joey and today I'm going to try to explain to you why I believe you should buy games and consoles from DKoldies. I got into gaming when I was 6 years old when one of my mom's friends gifted me a Super Nintendo, which was one of the best gifts any kid could ever ask for. And then around 17, 18 years old, I kind of fell off and spent about 10 years away from the entire video game world. Maybe I just kept on with the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and the basic Call of Duty at that time, but minimal gaming, minimal exploring on different consoles and games. So 2 years ago, I decided to come back into it, and I realized that this market completely blew up. All the prices on everything is super expensive, and there's so much counterfeit in the market. So I kind of wanted to make a video as to why I believe you should buy from DKoldies, because if you really spend time like I did the last 2 years, you'll see where the value really is. There are 5 major components that I think you should look into when purchasing retro games and used products in general, whether you go to DKoldies or not, or Facebook Marketplace, Amazon, eBay, etc. Number 1 is trust. Where you're buying from, meaning not only where like online, but where in terms of location. You have to be able to trust where you're going. You have to be able to trust the service that you're getting. You have to be able to trust the products you're getting is not counterfeit. And not only that, you have to be able to trust that it's all original parts and pieces, that things haven't been taken apart and replaced with cheap Chinese knockoff plastics, which is very important. So a lot of these Amazon listings, they say reproductions, or they say restored. It's really, you're not really gonna know what you're getting, or refurbished. You don't know what you're getting, and that's a huge problem. So you have to be able to trust the distributor who's selling it to you, the actual seller through Amazon or eBay. Like, did this person just, change the one thing that was messed up, or did they replace everything, and did they choose better parts? You have to be able to trust them. Number 2 that I think is very important after trust is price. Price is basically, can go anywhere from $5 to $500, depends on what you're looking for. It's not only important that price comes after trust, because if you see something that's $300, you have to be able to trust, okay, I know that that's the original, that's authentic, it works, it's been tested, and I have a warranty going forward should anything happen. That's something that you can get at DKoldies. You're not gonna get that anywhere else. When you see a price like $250 for Pokemon Emerald, when you see a price like $300 for Metroid Prime GameCube, or whatever the case is, they are giving you a warranty. You are getting a certain amount of service that you would not get anywhere else. Number 3 that I think is super important is the time that you're gonna put in. Sometimes things don't happen the day of. You're busy, I'm busy. The seller that you're trying to get it from is busy. So the time you put in can vary from 1 day to 1 month. If you're working on buying something and the seller is not available, then you become unavailable. Then the seller gets offered something higher than what you're offering, so he decides or she decides to go with that person. Then you're stuck even longer. Then that person who offered flaked, and then the seller contacts you back and you're like, yes, I have a second chance. These things, takes a lot of time away from you, especially if you're working, especially if you have kids, even if you don't, well, who cares if you have kids? Even if you're single by yourself, you should be busy, right? So it makes it really hard when certain things take too much time. Number 4 that I think is very, very important as well, just as much as time, is effort. See, effort is after time, but it can also be before time, right? Because what if something takes 30 seconds, but you got to take a flight somewhere to go buy it? Like, really, you're going to do that? Like, because this person doesn't want to sell it. The person doesn't want to ship it. Are you really going to put in the effort to get on a plane to go buy a retro game? I mean, depends on what you're looking for. But the effort is important. Something could be an hour away, but if the effort is like, damn, I have so much going on, I have to carry all these things, I have to go over there, it's going to take me 2 hours to get over there, 2 hours to come back, that's 4 hours. Just to go pick up a $80 game, if you really think about it, it sounds like a loss. These are things you have to consider. Time and effort can literally be switched around. They kind of go hand in hand. And then last but not least, number 5 is relationship. Now, I say relationship because, yeah, maybe it sounds like you only have a relationship through DKoldies because they're the brick and mortar. They're the ones that you could go back and see. But believe it or not, hunting the last 2 years for all these retro games, I have made a couple of like friends and acquaintances. I have followed a couple of people on Instagram that do this for a living more than me. See, they do it to buy and sell. I'm basically just buying and buying all the missing parts and pieces. So I have made some friends-ish, and there are relationships, just as well as there would be a relationship with DKoldies. So those 5 things I think is crucial to purchasing anything used online or in store. Now I want to give a small disclaimer. 80% of the things that I would purchase, I would not purchase them off DKoldies. That doesn't mean that down the line, few things I'm gonna need, like 1, 2, maybe 3, maybe 5, who knows? Eventually, I know there's gonna be super rare items that mean a lot to me. Either they mean a lot to me or they just happen to be super rare and nobody saw it coming. Now, let me explain. I'm someone who has the time to put in to every night search through Facebook Marketplace just to see, like literally before I go to bed, I just look through it. If I see any gold, I just send a quick message. And this is like a daily habit. I do this every day. I compare with Amazon, I compare with eBay, I compare with Google Shopping. I have a car which allows me to travel here, there, small trips, long trips. You know, it allows me to create the time. It allows me to tell the seller, hey, what works best for you? You know, my work schedule is also very flexible. So I have a lot going for me when it comes to this retro hunting. I have a lot of things in my favor. And when you really think about it, the seller also has a schedule. The seller's also busy. So, you know, you might be available one day, and then the day that you took off work, then you go and you try to meet up, and then the person says, oh my God, I can't go. He got called into work, or whatever the case is. It gets really tough. So I have the time, I have the least amount of things going against me. And I also have a lot of knowledge in terms of being in the video game world, and also recently purchasing a bunch of things off Facebook Marketplace. I'll give you a small example. This is a PS Vita. I bought this for $150 even. I'm sure if you look on DKoldies, you'll see a different price. I bought this DS Lite for $50 even. It does have issues with the top screen on the corners, but it does work perfectly, just a little faded out. But also I do plan on repairing the screen myself, and I get to learn how to do that. I bought this off Facebook Marketplace. This is a 3DS XL Galaxy Edition. I bought this for $200. I'm sure you'll see a different price on DKoldies. I got this Game Boy Micro for free. Believe it or not, I met up. I was supposed to give the guy like $60. We ended up having a little conversation for like 20 minutes because he didn't have it charged. Thank God I brought my OmniCharge with me as a portable charger. Plugged it in for 20 minutes, it wasn't turning on. And the guy was like, you know what, you could have it. The conversation was great, no lie. Got this Pokemon Crystal with this Pokemon Pinball for $50 from a guy. And it's, yes, I already know it's authentic and stuff like that, don't worry. And the guy found it on the floor in a little bag, the pinball and the crystal together, and he sold it to me for $50. I bought this original Game Boy with a Pokemon Blue original, came together for $100. Maybe I overpaid a little bit, I don't know, but this was one of my first purchases, so I'm not mad at all. I feel really proud, especially if you see the condition. Yeah, I'll hide my face. Like, it's actually in pristine condition, so I was down. And then here's my childhood Game Boy Color with my childhood Pokemon Silver. I love this to death. I recently replaced the battery. Here's my childhood Game Boy Advance with my childhood Pokemon Fire Red. And here are 2 other games I got on Facebook Marketplace I bought together. Pokemon White 2 and Soul Silver for the DS. 2 very hard games to get. Super authentic. I checked everything myself, and this is why I believe that now I'm a bit of an expert, and I think DKoldies gets a bit of a bad rep. When shopping at either DKoldies or shopping online, you have to consider all the good and all the bad. So that's something we're gonna go over right now. So let's talk about the bad about hunting online. Your ability to do it, how much time do you have, the labor you have to put in, the safety and the risk you put yourself in, and basically your investigative skills. Are you able to determine, is it real, is it fake? Without knowing that these things are coming and without being able to, maneuver around them, you're not gonna have a good experience shopping online. Let's talk about the good about shopping online. Basically, the only thing is good is getting lucky, striking gold. If you put in the time and effort, you look day after day after day, looking for the person that just posted it 6 hours ago, just posted it 2 hours ago. Every day people are posting new items. You will strike gold. You will get an item that's like $200 less than what it should be, or 150, 85, 70. Now let's talk about the good about DKoldies. You're gonna get quality service. You're gonna get a quality product. You're gonna get an item that was tested, works, and will work moving forward into the future. You don't have to worry about door covers, controller ports, the disc reader. You don't have to worry about all the little pieces and parts and everything. You could be pretty sure that what you're getting is gonna work, and the money you're putting in will last you. Not only the moment that you pay DKoldies, but it's gonna last you going forward. However long the warranty is. Let's talk about the bad about DKoldies. We know the only thing that's bad is the price. They're charging you 3 times what the product is. And if you really think about it, they're the one that took the risks, right? Like, is it really that bad? They're the ones that buying these products, holding on to them for months until me and you decide that we're ready to buy them, whether it's 1 year from now, 1 month from now, 10 years from now. DKoldies is working on being there for you so that you could buy these products later on. So yeah, you should be happy that the price is what it is, or else everybody would have bought it already, right? And what's crazy is that everyone wants to just talk about how bad it is that they're overcharging. But most people, when you really look at the situation, they're running a business, right? But running a business doesn't mean that, they're just out to get money. Their daily cost of operation just to be open is running money, right? Like, they can't open and not sell a game, right? Like me, I could decide to sell this Soul Silver, but I'm just gonna throw it into my daily routine, right? Like, I'm not gonna take a loss trying to sell it. But if I decided to open a store, create the LLC, create the online, create the social media, hire the PR team, make those videos, get the camera, make sure the audio is good, make sure that whatever lighting is working, making sure all my employees are paid. I mean, these people are just running literally a small business, because it's a small business. It looks like there's less than 25 people there. If he has 24 people, so what? It's a small business. And they're getting so much shit. But if you really think about it, let's talk about the people that should buy from DKoldies. If you're someone who's trying to buy a gift for someone and you want to guarantee that the person that you're gifting it to gets a original piece, gets a proper working piece, gets good customer service, if anything goes wrong, you yourself will have a receipt showing that the product has a warranty. If something does go wrong down the line, the seller didn't disappear. So if you want to buy something for your nephew, for your niece, and you don't want to embarrass them because later on they find out that the product is counterfeit, you should buy from DKoldies. If you know nothing about retro games, the Pokemon world, if you don't even listen, I don't have all the answers. I didn't know all the answers, but I had 20-30 minutes to watch videos, this versus this, this versus this. How is this fake? How is this just a shelling? How is this just a mod? Because right now, I was trying to buy that Game Boy SP, right? But there's 2 versions. One's an upgrade, which they show you, it has an IPS 2 screen and IPS V2 screen, and it's supposed to be so much better, but it's a brand new shell, right? They're saying mint condition, brand new IPS V2 mod upgrade, but that shell is not from Nintendo. It's not an original shell. The best thing to do is get the original one and then get the mod done. Yes, online they do also have, I've seen people with original Game Boy Advance SPs, the NES edition, with the IPS upgrade screen. So those are going for more money too. But all I'm saying is, I know how to look at the picture and go, oh yeah, that's a real one. I know how to look at the holes on the speaker. There's these little holes right here. So if they look like flawed, you can tell it's counterfeit. You could look at the buttons, then you could look at the spacing around hinges, you could look at the spacing around the buttons. You can see it just from the pictures alone. So that's why I truly believe that someone like me doesn't need to shop at DKoldies. But I'm literally a 10% minority group, because everyone else is shopping for just games. They're not thinking about anything. They're not thinking about counterfeit. They're not thinking about repairs. They're not thinking about buying something that has one little thing broken. Okay, I'll fix that one thing later. They just want it as if they're buying something brand new, right? They just want that car dealership experience, you know, rather than buying a car and not knowing what the hell is going on. You'd rather get it like a certified pre-owned, and it gives you that, you know, peace of mind that what you're getting will last. The money you're putting in won't go to waste, and you won't get scammed. All of these things. So a lot of these people, they're coming to the DKoldies online store through social media. That's not DKoldies' fault. It's not their fault that they took the jump to make these videos, to do these little reels and stories and push it on Google ads. Because when I was searching, DKoldies was right there. Google pushed it over to me. That's not their fault. They put the money up front. They took the risk. They did everything they needed to as a business to move forward. And you know what? We're calling them a retro store now, but eventually in 10 years, DKoldies is still going to be there. And then the PS5 is going to be a retro, you know? So we're talking about the prices being too much, but we're not thinking, wait, which way is DKoldies going? They're making these videos. They're getting the recognition. They're getting the views. They're getting the followers. So you got to think, hey, what is DKoldies becoming? And it's not just going to be retro games. It's going to be the future as well. So this is why you should support DKoldies. However, that doesn't mean you should blindly buy from them. You should be able to do some research. If you just do a little bit, like literally if you do half an hour research, I promise you can save 20, 30 bucks. That's like a little guarantee. If you do an hour to 2 hours research, you can save 100 to 200 bucks. You know, proper research, not just sitting down wasting time. Also dividing it amongst different days, seeing new posts, replying to the old post, searching at new places. All of this matters, and it's gonna take a lot of time and effort. So at the end of the day, you kind of have to decide, is DKoldies for you or is it not? But I'll tell you one thing, they're not a ripoff. A lot of other YouTubers, they're saying, oh, you could just go to your local store and then get it there cheaper, but they don't follow up. Meaning, so now you go to your local store, you show up, it's not there. So now what? It's not there. They don't have it. A lot of these local stores, they don't have it. I went to stores in Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, they don't have it. So you really got to consider it. And here's a few points that I may have forgotten. So let's go back to those 5 points, right? Remember, it was trust, price, time and effort, relationship. Let's talk about trust again. A lot of these games, I had to show up, like literally over here in New York, we call them the projects. They're like little hoods all over the place. And you have to be able to show up to the hood, you know, neighborhoods you're not familiar with. You have to be smart. You have to be quick. You have to know where to park. You have to know where the person is, have him come over to you, because you don't want to get baited onto anything. You don't want him to tell other people like, hey, I'm about to make this sale, you know, jump him after I sell it to him, take his money and give me back my game. Like, that's crazy, right? These are things that can happen when shopping yourself. So you really got to think about the whole trust scenario. Then again, price. Listen, how much is something worth? Like, yeah, look, you look at the number, but how many days, how much effort? You know, it's 80 bucks and then DKoldies is $170, but 80 bucks for something that takes 4 days, for something that takes how much gas, how much toll, how much Metro card, or, you know, how much walking, whatever it is that you have to do. Time, effort, back to those two. I mean, we know how important these things are. We know how much they vary from product to product and seller to seller. And last but not least, relationship. I mean, I would love to have a relationship with DKoldies. You know, that's something that I would love to drive out there one day. They're like 3 hours away, purchase a few missing items and call it a day, you know? So even though I would continue trash talking their prices, I still would encourage other people who don't have the ability to do all this research to buy from them. They're a great store. They're gonna make sure your fucking product is working well. And then if it's not, call them, they'll take care of you. And this is why I believe you should purchase from DKoldies. Thank you for sitting through this. If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe if you haven't been here before. Also, leave a comment if you agree and disagree in any way, shape, or form. Thank you again, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.